Oke, halo, selamat sore teman-teman semua. Hello, Young Scientist. Selamat datang kembali di live Instagram IYSA mingguan. Nah, untuk minggu ini, teman-teman, selamat datang. Untuk minggu ini kita akan kedatangan tamu internasional, yaitu adalah Mr. Ramanteja dan Miss Edita Wozik dari Organizing Committee of GYSC dan Innovate. Oke, teman-teman. Sebelumnya, aku akan menginformasikan bahwa live Instagram minggu ini akan dilakukan dengan menggunakan bahasa Inggris. Jadi untuk teman-teman semua, kita akan melakukan live Instagramnya menggunakan bahasa Inggris. Oke, halo teman-teman yang sudah datang. Oke. Okay, hello everybody that already joined the live Instagram session with Mr. Ramanteja and Miss Edita Wozik. Today, we will be talking about sustainable research practice. Okay, while we are waiting for our speaker today, I would like to ask to all participants that already joined this live, do you know about the Sustainable Development Goals or the 17 point in SDGs, which is there is no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, and other 17 point inside of the SDGs. As you are well known, that SDGs is also a development program from the Millennial Development Goals. So the world government make the sustainable development goals to end poverty. Okay, probably we are still waiting for our speaker. Hello, everybody. Okay. Okay, I would like to repeat it again for participants that already joined. Today, live Instagram will be talking about sustainable research practice, which is we will be connecting between research work and sustainable development goals. As you may know that much or often the organization use sustainable development goals as the topic for research competitions, such as no poverty, good health and well-being, zero hunger, clean energy, clean water and sanitation, gender equality, and many other points inside of sustainable development goals. Okay, we are still waiting for our speaker today. I will repeat it again. Our speaker is Mr. Ramanteja, CEO and co-founder Altronic Technologies from India, and also Miss Edita Wozik from Polandia. Okay. Hello. For those of you that didn't know already, this is the new program for Indonesian Young Scientists Association, where we are going to use live Instagram and also live Facebook every week. So please make sure to stand by at our Instagram, which is IYSA_official, to attend all of the program from our PR division. Okay, our speaker, Mr. Rahman, already joined. I would like to invite Mr. Rahman to do live together. Okay. Okay, hello, Mr.
Hello, Milano. How are you?
I'm good, Mr. Rahman. How are you?
I'm doing great, Milano. Thank you so much for this.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mr., for attending our new program in IYSA, which is live Instagram. As probably some of the participants already met Mr. Rahman yesterday at the international webinar, right?
Okay.
Okay, and now we are talking about probably have the same topic as yesterday, but this is more in sustainable research practice. Probably for Miss Edita already joined, Mister, or this will be
Uh,
you only?
well, let's wait maybe a minute for Rita, and I will also message her. Shall I share the link?
Yes, okay. Probably I will share also the link for Miss Edita.
Please share her. Yeah. And are we recording this, Milano?
Yes, this live will be recorded and you can see the live after the session end on IGTV of IYSA Instagram.
Great.
Okay, I'm contacting Miss Edita.
Please.
Okay, Mister, how was yesterday webinar? Did all of the participants pay
It was
attention?
great.
So there
It
is
was great. So
performance also,
they were
right?
asking important questions, and I would love to meet the people in person, but because due to pandemic we cannot travel, I think the online seminar is the best option.
Oh, I think I have news from Miss Edita. Won't be able to join due to some problems. So probably,
Oh, okay.
oh, there is
Okay.
internet connection problem, Mister. So probably we are going to have a chit chat, just both of us.
Yes.
Okay, Mister.
It's okay. No problem. No problem. Thank you.
Okay, so probably I would like to introduce to all participants here. Hello, participants that already joined. Currently, there are around 14 or more participants joining our live Instagram today. So, as I already mentioned before,
Great.
today we will be talking about sustainable research practice with one of our great narasumber, our trusted person in IYSA also, Mr. Raman Teja, as the CEO and co-founder of Altronics Technologies PVT Ltd and even organizer of GYSC from India. And they're also supposed to be Miss Edita Wozik, but due to the connection and some of problem, Miss Edita won't be able to join us. So we will be having a Q&A or sharing session only with Mr. Rahman. Okay, Mr. Rahman, probably we can.
Thank you, Melano.
Without further ado, I would like to start at our topic. Today we will talking about sustainable research and practice. As you may know that most of the organizer that held an international competition use sustainable development goals as the topic for their research. There are 17 topics, which is probably I will say it. There is no poverty, zero hunger, good health, well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water, and many other. And most of the organizer use that sustainable to make a research topic for international competition. Probably for the first question, I would ask directly to Mr. Rahman, why sustainable development goals is good for research topic?
Thank you, Milano, for the warm introduction, and I appreciate that you chose this topic first of all for this live session. So, the first question: why is sustainable development goals important for research? The idea of research is that you're trying to find out solutions for problems. And the best part about sustainable development goals is that these are the problems that matter. These are the problems that affect lives. These are problems that are able to, uplift the conditions of the people. So if there is a food scarcity in an area and you're working on providing food security, so you don't have to worry about finding the problem anymore, right? You're just finding a solution. So someone has done the research for us. Someone has done the process of collecting the most important things that matter to the people. So this is already done for us. So when you start with these goals in mind, when you work on these goals and when you innovate and when you create solutions to solve these problems, you are sure to make an impact. For example, you pick some topic and you work on it without doing some research. What happens is that you don't know how many people are benefited from your solution. But in this case, you clearly know There are millions of people who need food security. There are millions of people who need better working conditions. There are millions of people who need better housing conditions. So in these cases, you can be 100% sure that your innovation will impact lives. So that is the reason why it is ideal to pick the sustainable development goals. We are not saying that every innovator should pick only one of these goals, but if some researcher is picking one of these goals as the problem statement or as the starting point for their research, it has a higher chances of creating a positive impact in the society.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. So probably why people are or organizer choosing the sustainable development goals also it's already maintained a lot of topics that the participants or the researcher can use, which is there is from one subject to another. There is very wide opportunity for the participant to create a better innovation and invention also. Okay, probably from 17 points, which is, yeah, there's a lot of points from no poverty until health and education. Which one, according to Mr. Rahman, it's more concerned to be a research topic now?
So if you ask me, personally, so out of these 17 sustainable development goals, for me, if you ask me the top three, it is like healthcare, education, and, and even better working conditions. If you ask me, because so this is kind of a personal experience. So what you see around you, for example, if you happen to meet if you happen to meet people who are suffering from food security, who are suffering from scarcity of food. So if you want to provide food to a vast population, especially like a country like India, in a country like India where you have to feed a billion people, and also in a continent like Africa where you have to feed so many people. Of course, there is an abundance of natural resources, but the distribution of these resources is very it's in a very haphazard manner. So for me, if you ask me, food security could be one of the biggest concerns, and I think by starting from there, we can impact a lot of life. That's a personal opinion. Of course, each one of these goals will be more important at an individual level because they have their own personal experiences attached to it. But if you ask me, my personal opinion would be food security.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rahman, for your answer. Yes, correct. Probably for food security, health, it's also related to health and good health and well-being, despite of what happened in the world right now, which is the pandemic COVID-19. A lot of researchers would like to do a research or innovation about good health. So they are making medicines, they're making a product or a machine to make or probably medicate such as Max or other hand sanitizer that from herb and spices and other a lot of things that related to good health and well-being. So probably most of them, according to what happened in the world, choosing health also it's related to food also, like food safety for some of the participants because as you know this virus that all over the world already consume a lot of damage from our research work. Okay, thank you, Mr. Rahman. Probably we are moving on to the next questions. In one of SDGs, there is a good education or quality in education. So the question is, education is also one of important topics in SDGs, as we may know that research is one of education quality. What's your opinion on developing research to improve the quality of learning? So what's your opinion about we apply research in every subject, in science, in social, in math? So what's your opinion on that to improving the quality of learning?
Okay, so fantastic. This is very important for us to understand that education is one of the primary needs. It's a primary right. Every human being deserves to be educated, just like how he deserves to be getting access to food, and he also deserves good education. So it is a collective responsibility as a society to make sure that education is accessible to everyone. It's a primary right. So one beautiful thing about education is that first of all, we have to work on how to bring the information, how to bring the latest information in a very simple, cost effective manner to the population of the world. So there are two things here. One is making education accessible, and the second point is making education, making the whole learning process fun. So what we usually think is that just by making education accessible, it will solve the solution. No, because just because there is a school doesn't mean the students enjoy learning in the school, right? They might just attend school due to many factors, maybe from parents force, or they might not enjoy what they're learning, they might not enjoy the way of teaching. There'll be many issues. So we have to consider ecosystem education as an ecosystem, and in this ecosystem we have to solve individual problems, and each problem requires a lot of attention, a lot of understanding. So the best way to to carry out this is to have a design thinking approach, to have a human centered design, to talk to the people, to innovate in terms of the tools of delivery for learning. For example, online education has revolutionized the content that is being available. For example, a very good professor in Harvard or in any other big university now can reach another student in other part of the world. So earlier it was uh, earlier it was not possible, but with MOOCs, of course, not just during COVID, even before the COVID, the MOOC platforms were doing this. But just because it is available does not mean it will be utilized 100%. So we have successfully made the information freely available on the internet, so that's a very good success. But apart from that, we have to make people, we have to encourage the students across the globe embrace this new change. We have to create some we have to innovate in terms of delivering also. So now it is available, but we have to deliver to individual geographies. So each geography has its own issue. Some countries don't even have access to proper internet. Some countries don't even have access to proper schools. So the opportunities here to innovate are limitless. We can innovate in so many ways. So whenever we do this training on design thinking and human-centered design, we usually give case studies regarding education and how some companies around the world are transforming the education related issues. So I think it's one of the most pressing issues.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Rahman, for your incredible answer. As you know that we really need to improve the quality for our education. Probably we use also research because our organization also developing research, which is the research competition internationally and nationally in our own countries. And that is one of our act to improve the quality of education due to the pandemic now, as you said before, that most of the students are learning online through online platform, and which is we as the organizer also help this international research competition with Zoom platform, which is online, not offline or attending the venue on the venue in front of the judges. So probably, what's your opinion about the student learning in online way, despite of what happening right now? Some of the participants should learn or do the experiment or practice at offline because it's more good for us to do a research or to experiment things offline. So probably, do you think it's easier for them to do the competition or to do a research in online or offline?
So primarily, whether it comes to online or offline, the primary problem with online is that it is difficult to stay motivated. It is difficult to stay engaged in online learning session. So the attention span of students typically is like 15 minutes, maximum 20 minutes. So even in a physical class, in a physical theory class, or in a physical lab session, the student cannot focus for more than 15 minutes at a stretch. And online it becomes exceedingly difficult for someone to focus on what the faculty is trying to convey, or what is the concept that is being taught. That is one major hurdle. But the point here is that when there is no other alternative, online is the way to go, because now there is no option for students to choose whether they want to go for physical classes in person or online. So I think when the classes resume to the normal way, like how it was before COVID, it will be very good. Even the students are will be more motivated. Because when they see someone in person, they'll have this positive environment for learning. They'll have this collaborative environment. Of course, there are certain collaboration tools that are making this possible online, but I think there should be a blend of both. It cannot be just online education. It is very difficult to stay focused online, and especially when it comes to research. So some part of the research can be done online. For example, the literature surveys, going through all the research papers, doing the basic analysis, doing the basic information gathering can be done online. Always it is done online, even on a day to day, even in a normal condition. Let us say there was no COVID issue. Even in that case, you do it online. But meeting your team in person, spending time with them, brainstorming with them, sharing your ideas, I think will give better research results in practice. So of course I do not like online, but I think for a few more days we have to we have to just hold on, and we have to just uh, you know we have to just kind of adapt to it for the time being. But yeah, I really hope maybe in a few days or in a few months we get back to normal, and I'm just praying for that day to come faster.
Thank you, Mr. So it's either online or offline. Each of the methods have their own advantage and positive
Absolutely.
things that we can use, such as the literature or the research and other like that. So probably we it's depend on us our reaction to do which is on online or offline. So basically it's can do it in the same way. So probably Mr. Rahman is one of our international judges also in international competition. Mr. Rahman already made a lot of project, probably more than 100. Yeah, Mr. There's a lot of project in each competition. Maybe if we combine together, there is so many interesting innovation and invention. So probably from your point of view, do you have any advice to all the researchers that already be participants in international competition that you already judge them? Do you have any other advice for them to create a better innovation and invention?
So what I personally observe is that especially the students, who are participating, especially from Indonesia, the one very impressive thing is that they're not just working on ideas; they're just putting their ideas to practice. They're not thinking whether it is right or wrong, and that is how it should be. So when you have an idea, you have to go out and test it. You have to prototype it. You cannot simply spend time hours together in discussion, right? So sometimes what happens is that, we keep discussing 100 times whether this is good or this is bad, but until and unless you prototype, you don't do any hands-on work, you don't really know the outcome. And that is something great about the innovators from Indonesia that I observed personally. They're practically doing something, they're implementing something. And another great thing I observed with the Indonesian innovators is that they are picking the topics of the topics that are specific to Indonesia. For example, about the plants and that are typical to Indonesian about your culture, about specific thing that that other part of the world is not aware of. For example, you're talking about a specific thing that is very specific to geography of Indonesia. You have a edge by default, right? So you are the expert, you are the local person, you know the problem better, you can cater to it better. So I think this is something beautiful that I observed. Of course, even the innovators from other countries, they happen to do this, but I saw that Indonesian innovators are doing it more often. So that is something great. And when it comes to suggestion, what I sincerely suggest is that whenever people are working on research or like trying to innovate or participating in international competitions, what I sincerely suggest is that when you pick a problem, try to implement one of the design thinking approaches for it. So when you pick a problem and when you're arriving at a solution, so what happens is that many innovators, they are one particular problem that they're fixing on the, the process. So what I suggest the innovators is that do not fix on the process, do not make the process rigid, be open to change the process, just keep the end goal in mind. For example, you want to improve the the number of, if you want to improve the quantity of rice produced through an agricultural practice. Just the end goal is important. So end goal is to improve the quantity of rice that you're producing. Don't say that I will do this to achieve this, because that what you will do to achieve this is the heart of the solution, and that you should arrive at through a design thinking process. If you already decide the process in your head, what is the use of innovation? There's nothing to innovate, right? You're implementing a plan. So that is something that I sincerely suggest, not just our IYSA or Indonesian innovators, but everyone across the globe. I sincerely suggest is that be open to, alter the process. Of course, the end goal will be the same. That is the guiding factor for us. But be open to innovate. Do not have a rigid process. Don't just try to work on one process. Be open for alternative solutions, but end goal should be the same.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Rahman. I also agree about research in Indonesia, probably some other country also. Most of them doing the research, also promoting the culture in Indonesia also, because me, myself, I have my own research also, and I'm developing one of Indonesia herb and spices into dishwashing soap. So it's very utilizing all of the herbs and spices is very common in Indonesia because we have a lot of natural ingredients and also culture that will be used as a research also. And not only in Indonesia, I also found some of the participants from outside, which is from Korea, from Japan. They are also using their own culture to do some research. Okay, yes, it's a good answer also about all of the research. They not only improving their own research, but they are also trying to give a bigger impact than just doing a research. Okay, probably we already mentioned about the sustainable practice and also quality in education, where research also take place in improving the quality in education. Okay, for the last question, probably Mr. Rahman, what is your action that already improve the quality of education in a research world?
Uh, so when it comes to our efforts, what we do to improve the quality of education, so we are working on various platforms, but what interests us the most and what gives us a lot of satisfaction is the training sessions we do on human-centered design and design thinking, and also the events that we organize. So for me, education is not just about going to school and learning formally, going to a university and learning formally, right? For me, education is about the learning process itself. So what we believe in is that when someone is participating in an international event, innovation event, they're working on a problem, they're trying to find the solution, that they're presenting it to the jury members, they're presenting it to the world, and then this is a huge learning process. So from our side, we have an event called, of course, we have multiple events that we organize, like IBS Global and Indian Innovators Association. We organize multiple events. So Innovate International Invention Show is one of the flagship events that we organize in Poland, and we have Global Young Scientist Challenge that we organize in India, and we have India International Innovation and Invention Expo, INEX. So these events, uh, in these events, we try to uh, make the platform, make this platforms available to more and more people, and have them the best learning experience, and have them the best experience of interacting with the stakeholders. So when you get feedback from the people who are using, like for example, you create an invention and you're getting the feedback from the people who are your future clients or future customers, or who are the people for whom you have done this innovation, that is the best feedback possible. So for this, we have tried to make our platforms more user friendly, and we have also tried to increase the participation of public in general by putting systems like voting system. So on our competitions, there is a public voting to choose the most popular invention. So what we are trying to do is bridge the gap between the innovators and the consumers. So basically, when someone is innovating, he's definitely finding the solution for someone else to use. So we want to bridge this gap as much as we can.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rahman. An excellent answer also. Same as IYS also, we creating a platform for all researchers to improve their innovation and invention. So probably for some of the participants that join here already, you know that Mr. Rahman and Ms. Edita also an event organizer of GYSC and Innovate in Polandia and India. So, and there are also international in India invention that all of the participants can also join the competition through IYSA. So if you guys would like to participate or submitting your research or innovation, you can just access our website at iysa.org.id and you can select GYSC or Innovate to apply your research in the international competition that held by Mr. Rahman also. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Rahman. We already come in the end of our live Instagram. Thank you so much for being our incredible speaker today, and also give regards also to Miss Edita. Thank you so much for the
Definitely,
time. Thank you also
definitely,
for
definitely.
participants.
Thank you so much, Milano. Thank you so much, and I would like to congratulate and wish all the best for IYSA as usual. And you're a great team, and my friend Mr. Denny Ravan. So you're all doing a great job. I wish you all the best, and I would like to be in more and more sessions like this in the future also. And I like to be in person also, like like a live interview maybe sometime. And like you said, if anyone wants to participate in our events, please get in touch with IYSA from Indonesia, and we will see you in our events. Thank you so much, guys. Take care.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rahman. Thank you, everybody that are
Bye.
listening in.